Hello, hello. This is Nina Urjavic, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Thanks for watching. We are going to do a Fun Fold Friday on a Monday. Yes, on a Monday. So, if you love stamping and creating as much as I do, please like and follow for more. I so appreciate you watching. So, let's get started. So, here it is here. And then you open like this, and then the hidden door is right here, and then you open like this. So it's a super simple card, just a lot of cutting, a lot of measuring, but I've got all the measurements for you, so don't worry. This card is actually up on my website, and that website is this here. It is my shop website. It is also inspiration. So you go to ninaurjavic.stampinup.net, and you go to my projects, and this card will be there. And I'm going to show you two other variations of this card, so you will be able to see. Now it's using all the same card, or it's using all the same designer series paper pack, which is the Floral Impressions DSP, and that's the paper here, and it's double-sided. Remember, Stampin' Up! Is that way. Our paper is double-sided. That is online only, so you can go online and look at that. It's at this website as well. You can go to look at the products, go shop now, go here, shop now, and then you look up Floral Impressions DSP, and it'll come up. Also, we're using the Impressions of Bloom stamp set, the right words, and then we are also using Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. So I can show you all of that stuff here in just a bit, but we're going to do two other color variations of this particular card. So let's get started. Okay, the first one we're going to do, and I did some things ahead of time just to make it a lot quicker. I did do some cutting, but I do want to score this real quick. This paper here, and I have measurements too, so I'm going to use my little cheat sheet. This is a Simply Score tool. Let me get my tool. I did not pull that out. Okay, so let's see here. We are going to score. This is 10.5 by 3. We're going to score at 2. I'm going to score at 2. We're going to score at 3. We're going to score 5.5 and 8. Okay, all the other things I scored already for you. Okay, so there is that. And then we have the card base. This is 6.5 by 5.5, and this is scored at 4 1/4, like this. Okay, so this is your base card here, and you want to score it on the long side. Okay, which gives you the 4 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, all right. So those two things we are done with. Let's see, this goes this way, this way. Oops, sorry, I was off camera. Sorry about that. This way, I think. Okay. Yes, this way and this way. There we go. Okay, and you do want to take a bone folder and make all of your score marks really nice and tight here. Okay, it just makes it so much easier. All right. Then we have the paper. Now this paper is super gorgeous, and I keep my paper in these little things that I get from Stampin' Storage, but here is just some of the paper that is here. I do put the coordinating colors in with my paper, just a sheet so I know where the colors are. And then on the back of this, it tells you the name. Okay, and it also gives you coordinating colors, the colors that are in the DSP. So if you're needing color coordination, look to your DSP, your designer series paper, for those colors. So as you can see, there they are there. Okay, so you can pull the colors, and that's where all these colors came from. So we have basic white. Here are your measurements. Let me see if we can see that. There's the measurements. So here is your base. here is your actually TriFold, which is this one here. Then your DSP, all of your papers for your DSP. This is your 1x3. Then I have another piece of these off to the side because I was using it on another card, the other sample, and I actually put glue on it. And I actually wanted glue on this side to use on this side, but we're going to use it on this one. So you need 3 of these that are 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. This is 1x3. This one here is the 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. It's the same measurements as these. Okay, this is the only one that's different. But we actually can trim this one down too if you wanted it to be the same size, and I'll show you that in a bit. And then we need the 4 and 5 1/4. And then we need 2 of the 2 inch by 5 1/4. Now, as you're putting this together, you can use these sides and switch these sides up if you want to do that. It's totally up to you. And then we needed a 1 piece of the solid, which is the 2x3. And all I did was run this through an embossing folder. Okay, now this Cane Weave 3D folder is limited. It is last chance, which means that once it's sold out, it's gone. So I just mark mine like this so that I know at a glance what is leaving and what is staying. So this one here is a really cool one, and it gives a nice texture. Isn't that cool? Okay, so that one is there, and I'll show you another one on the next card too. Okay, so this is a pretty quick card. Once you have everything cut, then it, you know, it goes really by pretty quick. You can use your choice of adhesive, whichever one you want. Liquid glue, I like. It's pretty quick. It's forgiving as far as putting it down, you have some wiggle room. Let's make sure that I'm still in camera view. So you can kind of wiggle it to get it where you want it to go. And to keep from getting glue blotches underneath your paper, just rub it. Once you get it in place and you got it where you want it to be, rub on it. And then it just disperses that glue throughout your project. And then these two, I am going to put this one here. And this is where you decide ahead of time what side of the paper you want to show. All I'm doing is matching these edges up and giving the border around. Okay, and then rub. And then this one, I'm going to put on the front this way. You know, you could have done the opposite. You could have put this one here and this one, the flower, whichever you want. That's what makes the Designer Series paper double-sided so easy to use. And see, I did the opposite. Oh, man. Seriously? I did do that. Okay, well, we're going to go with it. That's what happens when I'm talking and not paying attention. But either way, it's still going to turn out beautiful. So, and then with this one, we are going to put this little purple cane weave. Now this one, you want to actually add pretty much glue on this one. And then this one goes on this front panel right here. And this is where the glue comes in handy, because then you can kind of zhuzh it to where you get it where you need it to be. This one you might want to hold down for just a little bit, because there is, I've got ink underneath my nails. Okay. That's what happens when you stamp, right? You get ink everywhere. Okay, now, since I used, do I want them to go different ways? Or do we want to go this one? I think we're going to go this one. Make sure you got your paper right side up where you want it to go. So I changed this one up. I was going to do the other side because this was supposed to be this, but you know, you may start out one way and then totally change it up, and that is so okay. I'm just going to trim. I don't like that little edge, so I'm just going to trim this little edge off. And not cutting my finger. Okay. I think that actually looks cute. Now, this side, let's see, what do I want to do here? I've got these three. Do I want to just do the whole thing flowers? Do this one that way? Tell you what, let me see if I got another piece to cut, which I probably don't because I've used a lot of this paper already, which means that means I have to just buy more, right? Okay, so no, I do not. Okay, so we're just going to roll with it. We are going to make this one. Let's see. This is where, you know, you just figure out your design. We're going to do this one on here. I'm going to go like this and just make sure your border is even all around or close to even. I think I'm going to switch. So here is where you can pull it up. So see, not all the cards turn out perfect the first time. You know, it's creative. It's a creative moment, right? We're going to go ahead and keep this going this way. So this is where I said, let me move this up so you can see. This is where I said that you could have this piece here matching this, but I've got this piece matching this here. So, you know, it is what it is. And this is the reason why I want to show you why I switched my mind on this particular thing here. Is because we're going to put a flower on here, and I didn't want the flower to get lost in all of these flowers. So that's why I switched it. But you know, it's your card. You can do it however you want. And then this one goes here. Kind of all eyeballing it to get it even. You know, a handmade card is not supposed to be perfect. And I think a lot of us need to let go of that. That it does not have to be perfect. Because if we wanted to be perfect, we'd go to a card store, right? On the mass production ones. We may see the mistakes, but other people are not going to see the mistakes. They're just going to see the beauty of your, I'm getting the glue off my fingers. They're just going to see the beauty of the card that you made for them. Okay, so now the base of the card is ready. So it actually goes like this. Okay. Now, we are going to, here is the piece that we're going to stamp on the inside, which goes inside the hidden door. But now we need to do some stamping. We need to get the impressions of bloom out. We're going to set this aside. And then we need to make, let's see, do we want this one to be a thanks? I think we're going to make this one a thanks. So I'm going to get one of these out. The other set we're using Impressions of Bloom, The Right Words. Now this one is in the catalog. This one is on page 89 of your catalog. If you don't have a demonstrator and you don't have a catalog, I can certainly be your demonstrator. I would love to be your demonstrator, and I can send you a catalog. So you can always just DM me, or you can put a comment in the comments of this video. Okay, rather wherever I'm posting it. I may post it on FB, and I may also post it on my YouTube channel as well, of the same name as my Facebook name, Stamping with Nina. So then I am going to use this die set here, and it's called Something Fancy. This one also went with it was a bundle with Something Fancy stamp set. However, this one has sold out, but this one is still available. And this one is on the last chance list. So if you want this, when I checked last, it was still available, but as things go on the last chance list and they start to sell out, then they come off the last chance list and go on to the discontinued list, which means you cannot get it any longer. So we are going to use this little one here, okay, this little die here, to make this little die, this little piece. Okay, so I've already done that. But for those of you who do not know, we have this little itty bitty Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and this is how this one goes. So let me see, make sure you guys can see. I'm going to put it right here. Make sure I'm in camera. So I get a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper. This is where the scraps come in. Put your die on your scrap, put it on your machine. Now this one's a little tricky. This one is a little temperamental, so you have to offset your cutting plates, okay, like this. And it doesn't matter that that's twisted, it's all right. If you need it to stay in place, use a little piece of washi tape. I like to use removable tape. So we just wheel it in. So as long as those plates are offset, it wheels in perfectly. If you have them all matched up together, it's not gonna like it. It's not gonna wanna go through. So it's just that easy. Just offset your plates. This is a handy dandy little tool. It doesn't take up a lot of footprint on your stamping space, but it is limited to the size dies. And in the catalog, let me grab a catalog real quick. In the catalog, it does tell you with the dies, at least the last catalog did. Let me go double check. It does tell you, let's see, these are all big ones. It does tell you if it is this size or not, if you can run it through. But anything small will definitely run through here. So here are the two machines. One is obviously quite a bit smaller, and then the larger machine. Either one will do fine. The larger machine will do the larger dies, okay, and of course the smaller dies as well. Okay, but I don't see it in this one. I'd have to look and double check, but I do. Last catalog, it had like a little mini thing next to it that would say that this is the mini, and it will do your dies. But something like this one will be fine for, okay? I hope that cleared that up. That kind of sounded rambly, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so that I can throw out, and then there is the die. I tell you, dies are amazing. I love them. I use them all the time. That and DSP, I think those are my two favorite things. But see how small this is? Here's an ink pad. So it's not very large. So it's really nice. It's a nice tool to have. Okay, then we need some blocks. I think I said I was going to make this one a thank you, because I send out lots of thank you cards. So this is how I keep my dies and my stamps, okay? I do keep my dies with the coordinating stamp set, unless it is something like this that can be used for any project. This is specific to this particular stamp set, okay? So I do keep these together. I buy these cards with Stampin' Storage. I do have an affiliate link for these that I do make a small commission, so I could definitely post that in the comments so that you guys can have those. But this is how I do. This is how I do, and I keep it in here. I do put all of my stamps on the plastic case, and I've used these quite a bit. And I do put the thin piece over the top to protect them. Okay, that's how I store mine. Once you stamp, or you are an avid stamper, you probably have your own system, but this works for me. And then for the ones that are standalone dies, then I have in a plastic bin behind me, all marked. So that's how I do mine. Okay, so I do need the thanks. Let me get some blocks. I'm so used to stamping closer to me and not stamping farther away. So it does take some adjustment, I must say. Okay, and then I have cut these out already. Let's see, I need this one, and this one, and these two, and I don't need a leaf. But you have all of the stamp set, all the stamp flower pieces. This is a 2-step or 3-step. You can stamp these two, and then these two, and then there is a piece, and I'm going to show you. I need to take it out. A die that will also do. Let's see. Let me grab. I've done some already, just to save time. But I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the little cuts that it made for details? Can you see that? I love it. Okay. Let's see, what else do we need? Okay. And then we need the leaf dies. Okay, we need those. And we need these little flowers. Okay. Let's see what else we need. And I think that's it. Okay. So this is going to be a kind of a pretty long video, actually, because I've got a lot of things I want to show you. Okay, this is Fresh Freesia. This is our newer stamp pads. They are foam. I like the foam better than the linen myself. Okay, so let's put all these aside. And I'm going to stamp this right here because I'm actually going to put a flower here. So there is Fresh Freesia. Let's see, get a piece of paper, scrap. There's our sentiment. Okay, and then we need some more. I keep all of my blocks to my right in a drawer. And there's those. With photopolymer, once you peel them off the case, you do want to let them sit because then they'll spring back and get their normal shape. Otherwise, if you put them right to your block, they can get a little distorted. So we don't want that. Okay, so with this card, and I'm going to show you where we're headed, okay, so that you know what I'm doing. Here is the finished card. Of course, this one's a happy birthday. A little bit different. This one here is the Forever Plaid. Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. Okay, this one's a happy birthday, and there is your sentiment on the inside. Okay, so it's just a little bit, but this is what we're doing. We're stamping the flowers, we're cutting the leaves, and we're cutting out these little ones here. Now we need a solid, I'm going to put this right here so you can see it. We need a solid Fresh Freesia. Okay, and then we need just the inside, just the detailed part, because we're going to leave the flower white. So we need one of these. Now what you could do is if you have the larger stamp cut and emboss machine, you can put all these and stamp and cut out all of them all at the same time. That's the beauty of having the larger one. I actually have both of them, and I like having both of them depending on the job. The small one also travels really easy. Let's see, what else do I need? Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and do the centers. This is our old style. I haven't totally upgraded all of mine, just because these are working, why change it, right? So this one is crushed curry. I'm going to use crushed curry on the inside, which is the solid, on the centers. My stamp is kind of falling off here. Into the center. It's pretty easy. I love the photopolymer because you can see through them. You can see where you've gone, where you've been, and where you're going. I love that. And then this is pumpkin or pecan pie. I wanted to say pumpkin pie, but it's not. It's pecan pie. And we're just going to stamp this over. Let me make sure I'm in camera. It's kind of hard with the camera in my way, but we'll get there. Okay. So there are the centers. Let me grab a piece of old olive. Hold for me for a second. This is a little big. Let's just lop a little bit of it off. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're going to put these things together. What I did is this piece here, this one here is 2 pieces. This is the outline, which will cut this one out. This one here will cut the flower out and put the details in there, and that's what I want on this particular flower. This one we do not need. I don't know why I got this one out, but we do not need this one. Okay, so I'm gonna let's do this. Let's go ahead and put this on. Now, you see all these petals and you're going, oh my gosh, how am I gonna match that up? Well, here's the thing. You look at your die and see there's 3 petals here, and then you look at your stamp, there's 3 petals here, and that's where it's gonna line up perfectly. Okay, so this is not meant to line up exactly, but it's pretty close. So you can line it up, you line up your circle here on the inside of your flower. I do use removable tape. I just have an old tape dispenser, and I have removable refill in there, and this is what I use to put all of my pieces down. Now, when it's fresh, yes, it's removable, but just stick it to your clothing to get some lint on there so it's not as sticky. And then we're going to just stick this down here. And these little guys don't necessarily need to be stuck down, but you can if you want. Since I got the tape by Torch, I'll just go ahead and stick them down so they don't move. This one we're going to have to come back, and I'll tell you why in just a bit. And then these little guys here are going to go on the green. And we're going to do it all at the same time on the big one. Now this one you may not be able to see all that easy, but you'll get the gist of it. So with this one, we just need, and all the plates come with it, we need plate 1, plate 2, and 2 of plate 3 to cut. So this is going to go on here. Now watch, this is the beauty of having the big one. Here's this one here. And then where's my little green piece? Over here. The green one can go in here. And I can just stick these on here. Now we would need 4 of these. I already have them cut, but I just, for the sake of video, I want to show you how I got to that point. Okay, put the top plate on. And then just run it through. This one you don't have to have the plates lined up or askew, because this one takes them in, does not matter. Okay, so here, just put this over here, and then here's this. We're going to have to cut one more time, but here are our leaves. And then I'd get my handy U-pick tool and just poke these little guys out if they don't come out when you drop the die. And these guys we do not want to lose. They are pretty small, so I'm going to put them back on my magnet sheet, which is off to my side. And these little guys, there they are there. And usually they just come out, but you'll just poke them out. Now this U-pick tool also has other attachments to it as well. This is another one that might get lost, which are these attachments here. Oh, sorry about that. I touched my remote for my lights. Let me get it up here later. It's pretty bright. Let me adjust it here. Oops. All right, that's what happens when you mess with it, right? This is live, folks. Okay, it's one more time. There we go. Okay, so there is a X-Acto knife, a blade. There is a curved picker. There is a pointed piercer, and then scoring blades, or scoring things, which I used this one, but it also, this tool also has adjustable things with it. This is separate. You buy those separate than this here, but they're super cool. Okay, so let's punch all these little guys out, and let's go punch out our flower. Not punch out, but die cut. So there's all of our little flowers. Okay, now this one, this is what you get with this. See the little, so now it's a white flower with those little cuts in it, which is nice. Now, let's go cut this one out. In order to cut this one out, we don't want it to have those cuts in it, the detailed cuts. So I'm just going to untape it. Take this piece off. Okay. And now we only have this piece here. All right. So do you have any questions at all at this point? Because if you do, I can answer them once the video is done. So again, look for your 3 flower petals on your stamped image, and then just line those up. And this should line up pretty close. Okay, and then tape it down just so that it does not move. Put the top on. Let me get my cut emboss again. Now for this little one, we could have used the smaller one, but we've already got the big one out and ready. So, okay, sorry for all the shaking. All right, and then here's our flower. Pretty cool, huh? I love this machine. It is a have-to-have tool, let me tell you. Okay. Well, you don't have to have it, but it does make life so much easier. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on and then get it all put together. All right. So we have our thanks. And then, let's see, this one has, this says thanks. I appreciate you. I appreciate you is not, will it go on here? Let's see. It will go, let's see if we do it. Okay, let's do, it says thanks. Let's look at this one. This one has a lot. Thanks a lot. We could do that. We'll do that. Thanks a lot. So this is where the second saying set comes in. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if there's another one I like better. How about instead of a lot, let's do you're so kind. Thanks, you're so kind. I like that one better today. Let's go you're so kind. Now this is our clear mount. So as you can see, they're red rubber. For those of you who don't know, this is the red rubber. So, of course, you cannot see through it. However, it's okay. Let me get all these out of my way so I don't stick my hand in them. And I'll clean them off camera. Okay, so we're going to put, let's see. I think for this one, I think I'm going to pull in Misty Moonlight. This is Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to do another thanks. Let me clean thanks off real quick. Where's my cleanup pad? Okay, here it is. This is the chamois. I love it. And yes, it's well loved, but it doesn't hurt it any to be stained like that. I think we're going to do, I've changed my mind. We're just going to do Misty Moonlight. I'll save that one for another day or another card. I'm going to do Misty Moonlight. Perfect. So that our sentiment on the inside, oh goodness, see what happens? That's why I get nails. That's why I have ink underneath my nails. Okay. Little wet wipe baby wipes work wonders. Okay, let's try that again. All right. Who else is a messy stamper? Perfect. Okay. Close that up, and that way you can write your message down here. Make sure. And then something else I like to do ahead of time. Now this card, because it is already thick, I am not going to pop anything up on dimensionals. I'm going to use glue dots. And these glue dots, the glue dots are stuck here. So we are going to stick our little flowers on these glue dots. This way. And yes, I could have had this done before the video, but these are great tips that are nicely shared. So if you just put your little flowers on these little dots ahead of time, it will make your assembly go so much quicker. And this one here, I think I'm going to use 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can tear it off, put it on your table so that you don't have sticky dots everywhere. And then our leaves are also going to need little dots. And this flower is going to need some dots. Now, you could use glue. You could also use the Tombow white glue. We're going to leave that stuck there. And then we need one of these little guys. Let's do this one. Okay, so now we got all of our little pieces. And now this is going to be so much easier. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this piece down, and then we'll decorate. So the easiest way I found is to figure out where you want it to go, okay, and then turn it over, hold this down, and this one I am going to use glue just so that it holds it. I'm going to scoot it down a little bit more. Perfect. I am going to use the glue that way because it's going to take a lot of abuse by opening and closing. And then I'm just going to fold this over on itself and rub. Got a little bit of glue there. Get the glue off. So I had it on my finger. So with the Tombow green, we call it green glue, a little goes a long way. Okay, so you don't want to use a lot. And now, let's see. Oh, I must have want to skew a little bit. Okay, then you can put glue on just this side here. Okay, and just fold this over. Okay, like that. And now, I'll hold it for just a bit so that the glue adheres. Okay. All right, and now we have our card. Looks a little crooked to me, but I think we will be okay. Okay, now let's go to decorating. Okay, so then since we did thanks, we're going to go ahead and put this on, and you're only going to glue on just this little bit. Woo, that is like too much glue. What did I say? A little goes a long way. Yeah. Just kind of smear that in. This is going to go right about there. Okay, hold it for just a little bit so it adheres. And then I'm going to put a flower on. We're going to use this flower here. Okay, and it's going to go right here. We're going to take our little leaves and tuck them up underneath. We actually need 4, so I'm going to grab 2 out of this, the ones that I had already done. I have a bunch of little things that I cut out ahead of time. And now I have a bunch to make more. Okay, and then these little flowers here. Now this is the U-Pick tool. This is awesome because you just pick these up and then you can place them wherever you want them to go. This is a handy tool. go. And then we're going to open it up and we're going to decorate this side here. Now this side is this flower here. Now you could have done this on the front. You could have done it however you wanted it. And I am going to straighten this up because it is a little crooked. So I'm going to straighten that up off camera. And then we do need 2 more glue dots for these. I love glue dots. Stick that under there. And then this one. And I don't know if you guys know right now, but currently there is a sale going on for sweets. For if you purchase, because this is a suite that we're working with, any of these items that you can, actually I'm going to fix this on camera because I'll fix it off camera. It's just bothering me because I know it's crooked. You buy one of a suite product, you get a second one at 50% off. So that is a very cool deal. So if you are interested in any of the, sweet products, you can buy one, get one half off. But here's a tip. If you're going to get a suite, the whole suite of products, do it a separate order. Because if you put a sweet in there and you put, say, the Pretty in Pink, Strawberry Slush Pretty in Pink gems, those gems are going to be what's going to be 50% off. So my advice to you is to get 2 sweets or something of a larger value, like a bundle, so that you get the maximum amount of percentage off. Does that make sense? Like I'm doing sweets on one order. I'm doing like embellishments on another order, and then maybe DSP on another order. But the products have to be in a suite in order for you, for the 50% off to actually be valid. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and finish this card. This is going to go in the center of the hide, behind the hidden door. Okay, and rub it a little bit. And then I'm going to put, let's see, I got all of my flowers gone. Let's get a couple more flowers out. Let's do 2 little flowers on some glue dots. And yes, like I said, you can use your Tombow glue, your liquid glue, or whatever adhesive you like. I switch between the Tombow glue and the seal, which is the seal, or you can also use the Seal Plus. It's totally up to you as to what it is what you like the most. Mine is really dependent on the project that I'm doing and the durability. Oh, come on, off of there. All right, there we go. But there's more. There's more. We are going to put some, I don't think the strawberry slush is going to be okay. Well, you know what? We could use a strawberry slush. We're going to use these white ones. So I just keep mine in these. These are passport covers. I just keep them in here. I learned this from another demonstrator, Patty Bennett. She uses these and I just love them. So I was like, oh, okay. I love that idea. And I like it because then I keep them in a plastic bin on my desk with all of my embellishments, and it's just easy. And then I label them. Yes, it's a little retentive, but I like it like this because I get to see them and I label them. Yes, it's a little bit of a cost, but you don't have to do that. You can do whatever system works for you. You can leave them in the package that they come in. You could do that. We're going to add 3 of these. But you know, creating is a personal thing. You're going to find what works for you. There we go. There we go. Must be a little bit of glue somewhere. Nope. Okay, there we go. And yes, I know it's crooked. I am going to fix that off camera. But there we go. Now, we're going to add some Wink of Stella. We're going to just sparkle this thing up. Okay? This is Wink of Stella. It's clear, but sparkly. So we are just going to just paint some sparkles. You know, there's no wrong or right. So there's sparkles on that one. And then this one, we're going to sparkle this. This Wink of Stella, oh my goodness, it just adds so much to your card images with little effort. And it's not messy like your traditional glitter. So if you don't like glitter all over yourself, your room, this is perfect. Wink of Stella. So I don't know, can you see the sparkle? Let's open this one up. What about this one? Can you see the sparkle on that? This flower? Okay, so there is one. Here is the other one. So this one has the cane weave embossing folder that is Last Chance. This one has the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. It's the same paper, same color, but just a different sentiment and saying. Now this one I did Wink of Stella, the little white flowers, so let's do that too. Whoops, that's not Wink of Stella. I didn't pay attention. Okay, Wink of Stella on the flowers. So Wink of Stella on these little flowers. Just haphazardly put it on there. It's no rhyme or reason. And then these two little flowers here. Now, too much will make it look gold, so you don't want to put too much on. And when your brush gets dry, you just squeeze at the push mark and just get a little bit more out. But this on the brush will last you a while, so you don't have to squeeze it so much. Okay? And then let that dry, and then you're ready to go. Okay? So I have one more, another color variation. So you've seen the purple or the Fresh Freesia. This is the same paper pack. Similar colors. Similar in pattern, you know. And then here's the next one. So this is the other one. Okay, so thanks a lot. So you know how to put this together. So I'm not going to put the second one this one together. This is the next one that I was going to put together. But it is the same. You know, it's the same measurements. Again, here are the measurements. Here is my website. Now I will put the measurements on my website. The card, this card is already up there on my inspiration. So you go to this website, go to my, at the top it is my projects, and then you'll see this card, and that's where I'll put the measurements in there. These measurements, okay? I'll also put these up there too for inspiration for color combinations. And here is the other one. So there's that one, this one, and then this one. So there you go. There's the measurements. There's the cards. So sorry I couldn't do this live. Hopefully soon I'll be able to go live. I am going to try to do it on the YouTube channel, see if I can go live there, but I think I'm having issues on that one as well. So let me see here. So if you like the tips and the tricks and all of the samples and stamping with me and creating, please like, share, and follow. So if you like the video on either platform, any of the platforms, obviously it's going to change the algorithm and you're going to see more of things from me. Follow, obviously you're going to see more from me, and if you share it, I would certainly love that too, as we're sharing the love, right? So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Don't forget to comment, ask questions so that I can answer those for you. Have a great day. Bye.